Hey everybody, Chris here. I am taking a look at card games, smaller box card games. I love so many of these, and before you ask, these are not all trick-taking and card-shedding games. Most of them are, but not all of them. So I'm going to go through these. I love games that fit in this kind of form factor and have a certain style of play. There's not on this game larger games that have great card play. These are just games where it's pretty much all cards all the time. So let's get started. My number 10 is a very interestingly themed one, historically set in ancient China. This is Chuan. This is a game, probably shouldn't say ancient, but anyway, Chuan is a two-player only card-shedding game where there are 10 ones, 9 twos, 8 threes, so on and so forth until there's only 1 9 and 1 10. And so you are trying to play these out, and so stronger, like the weaker number cards, you can make stronger sets of, whereas the higher number cards, there's going to be fewer of. I like that little dynamic that Tom Lehman, the designer, put into this, but the 3s and the 6s have certain little powers on them that make for very interesting play. This is one that's grown on me. I really enjoy this. So number 10, Chuan, a two-player only card-shedding game. Number 9 is the most different one on this list. This is Star Wars Unlimited. I was really surprised as I was putting this list together, but I'm very impressed with this. I'm not a CCG player. I probably will never go into the deck building aspect of this, but as a collectible card game, well, as a game you can even just buy starter decks and just play that, I find this one really fun. I like the idea of having a cool Star Wars character as a leader. I like the idea that the cards in your hand you can turn into resources to pay for other cards. Any card can be a resource. So you draw a card and you go, oof, this is not what I needed at this point of the game. Bloop, it's a resource that'll help me pay for other cards round after round. And so as you accrue more resources, you can pay for better cards. I like the theming. I just like the way that land figures fight land cards fight land cards, spaceship ones fight each other, and then you can try to take out the enemy's base. Very well done game, one that I'm surprised I like so much. My number 9, Star Wars Unlimited. Number 8, Fishin', or Fishing. This is a Freedom and Freeze trick-taking game. It plays over 8 hands. And the winner of the first hand, or whoever wins the most tricks, wins the most cards, is going to get more points. Everyone scores points for the cards they win. But then in the next hand, you keep the cards that you won from that first round, shuffle them up, and draw up a new hand. So the cards you win become your deck or become your hand for the next round. If you did not win enough cards, if you only won, say, 3 cards, say like won a single trick out of the 10, you get to draw up from a special deck of cards that will give you stronger cards. So the deck is made from numbers 1 through 10. And then the next round, as people draw into those special cards, some 11s and 12s and some trump suits start coming in. It's a mix between like a trick-taking game and like a deck-building game. It's really unique, really cool. I like Fishing a lot. Number 7, Sears Catalog. This one is a card shedding game, but it's an almost shedding game, wherein you are trying to hold on to preferably one very high-valued card near the end, or at least just a few high-valued cards. You don't want to be the person that has to play out their last card because you'll score 0 points. If you have high-value cards, you'll score points for the lowest card still in your hand. So you don't want to be holding a 1 or a 2. You want to be holding like an 8 because that's more points. Taking this twist to a traditional game of like, oh, I want to get rid of all my cards. Nope. You want to hold on to a high-value card, but it's not as easy to do that as it sounds. I think Sears Catalog is really, really clever. That was number 7. Number 6 for me, also from Bezier Games. They had a good year for card games. This is Xylotar, the face-down trick-taking game. This one is bizarro. The theme of it, amazing. You're a polar bear. Max Polar Power, the polar bear, or something, whatever his name is. And he's trying to learn to play the xylophone guitar. Theme doesn't matter, but there's different cards face down in front of you because everyone will arrange a hand of cards from lowest to strongest, pass it to the player on the left, and they're face down on the table. And now you're playing a trick-taking game where you only know the suits of each of the cards, or the numbers, right? Or the color of each card, but you know that they're arranged from lowest to highest. So it's a lot of deduction and trying to figure out what number of cards to play where. This is such a wild but awesomely fun trick-taking game. Yes, it's a twist to the trick-taking genre, but one that I find still is relatively easy for people to figure out and learn, surprisingly so. So that's my number 6, Xylitar. Number 5, stickers. This is the other one that's not a trick-taking or card-shedding game. This is a phenomenal family game. I think stickers is absolutely amazing. It's a legacy game of sorts because you're stickering cards, and the cards are all themed around collecting cool different stickers. The cartoony artwork in this is wonderful. My daughter loves them. We ogle over all the cute cards and stuff. We make up funny stories about Karate Cat and the Corgi King and all that stuff. But it's a very clever set collection game where you're trying to collect cards into your hand, and you play out sets of 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of them at a time, and depending on how many you play out, you get to activate different powers. Over the course of the campaign, it's very loosely a campaign, it's just kind of game after game you can unlock new little extras. There are cool things that you unlock that are fun new mechanisms. This is a great way to take an extremely light game, and over a few rounds they'll level up. And so now we're playing a slightly more complicated version of it with our daughter. It does the best parts of legacy games without the requirement and the commitment of sitting there and committing to story and everything. This is so good. I really hope more people check out. That's my number 5, stickers. Number 4, the 6 of 8. I thought this was a very weirdly named game. This is a trick-taking game from New Mill Games about the 6 wives of Henry VIII. And so you play over 12 tricks, and there's 12 rounds to the game, and the trump suit of the hand changes based on who is the current wife of Henry VIII. And each trick, after a few tricks, it'll change to a different wife. Some of them are really short. There'll only be like 1 round with a yellow trump suit, or 1 round with a green, and then 4 rounds with the red suit being the trump suit. It's very wild how this changes. Decently thematic for a trick-taking game, too. Just some very interesting team play where you and the person across the table are on a team, the other 2 are on a team, and you're trying to set each other up to score the point cards. But it's a wild, weird game that I can't fully explain the nuance of here, but it's so fun, worth looking into a lot if you haven't heard of it. The 6 of 8, one of the best trick-taking games from this year. Number 3, Vivo. This is a game that's come out in Japan only, another trick-taking game. And the idea of this one is that instead of having to, if someone leads off with a yellow card, in normal trick-taking games, you have to follow with a yellow card. If you have one, play a yellow card, play a yellow card. In this one, it gives you the flexibility because it's called, it's about music. And so there's cards that'll say, we're going to sing a solo, a duet, a trio, or a quartet. And what that means is that's how many different colors of card or suits of card have to be played. I lead with a red 9, and it's a duet. The next person can play red or any other color. If they play blue, and now that it's a duet, i.e. 2 colors must be played, everyone else around the table has to play red or blue. If it's a trio, there have to be 3 colors represented after everyone's added a card in. Solo is 1 and quartet is 4. And so this one scales very well. 3 and 4 players, very fun. But it also has a neat twist where the lowest card wins a lot of points and the highest card wins a few points each trick. And so it takes some nice little twists of a card game genre that I do really love and adore. And it just adds 2 little wrinkles in that make this a very standout game. I adore it. Plus it has amazing cutesy dog artwork. That cover is probably my second favorite cover art of the year, right behind Unconscious Mind, which is not a card game. Number 2, Lone Wolves. Lone Wolves is a 2-player head-to-head. Yeah, it uses trick-taking, but it's also a lane battler game. There's 5 lanes out there that you're trying to vie for control of, and it is done through some of the semantics of trick-taking. I play a green card. You have to play a green card. You must follow suit if you can. And you can create a trump suit over the course of the round. But really, it feels like you're playing like a battle line-esque game, or if you like Marvel Snap, fighting over 3 bases. There's 5 different colored bases. You're trying to score the points for having the strongest representation of cards there, but it's done through this kind of familiar card play, and it's got juicy, deep decisions throughout the whole game. It is tense, it's strategic. You want to lose some of those tricks, right? Someone plays a card, you'll play lower than them. Why? Your lower card gets flipped over, it's really weak, but you get a special power token that your opponent doesn't get. You might want to lose more than you win in this game, and you'll still come out ahead because you get so many powers and then you win just the right moments. Oh, this is an incredibly juicy game. Keep an eye out for Lone Wolves. And then my number one favorite card game of the year is Rainbow from Allplay. This one is not exactly a card shedding game. It's not exactly a trick-taking game. It's in that familiar form of sorts. But in this, you're trying to play out sets of cards that outrank other players' sets of cards because you want to try to grab these prize cards that are in the middle of the table. You know, getting 6 points is better than getting 2 points or 1 point, right? But then the cards that everybody plays get moved into the middle of the table, and now those are the prize cards for the next round. So do you want to play something really strong and win the best card? Sure. But then if you play something incredibly strong and that pile of cards is the next new prize, you might have set someone else up to win a stronger amount of points than you did. So it's got incredibly good, clever card play in this, and everything kind of feeds into itself. It does a lot with a little. This is the standout as my favorite card game of the year, and just honestly one of my favorite card games of all time. I think more people should play Rainbow. Tricky, weird, unique, cool artwork, unicorns and fruit, Saibepu's artwork. I really love it. So anyway, folks, those are my top 10 favorite card games from 2024. Many of these among some of my favorite card games of all time. It's been a good year for this genre. So thanks for checking this out. Let's keep moving on.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.